So again, thank you guys so much for coming today. Really happy to have you guys all here for, as I said, our final virtual Shopify meetup of the year. And today we're going to be talking about all things Black Friday, Cyber Monday, which I know is such a hot topic right now. So I'm really excited to get started. So as you guys, for those of you who have joined one of these virtual meetups before, it's very different from, I guess, all our in-person meetups. We really want you to kind of, I guess, not talk amongst yourself while people are presenting, but in this, please jump into the chat. We really encourage you guys sort of speaking to the speakers and then also all of the other people that are in the session as well. Please feel free to ask questions throughout the meetup. We will be collating all of them and we will have a big Q&A session at the end. But sometimes our panelists also try and just jump in there quickly and answer those questions as well. This meetup will also be recorded. So at the end, you guys will get a recorded video as well as cool, I guess, things that we can share with you guys as well. So before we kind of get started, I just wanted to kind of introduce myself. So my name is Emily. I'm the head of growth here at Reload Media. So Reload is an independent digital marketing agency, and we focus on developing customized solutions for businesses that really help achieve their goals. So for us, it's all about building that long-lasting partnership that see us become an extension of our clients' teams. So at Reload, we believe that no matter the industry, every e-commerce deserves a unique and highly tailored approach to your marketing. So our team work really closely with clients to develop a multi-channel digital strategy around the business objectives that matter to you. So whether you want to raise brand awareness, drive traffic to your online store, or increase sales and revenue, our team will help you spot the opportunities to help you achieve those goals. So our multi-channel solutions consider everything from an overarching strategy development all the way through to execution across paid performance, brand advertising, SEO, content, email marketing, and pretty much everything in between. So if you are looking for any kind of support off the back of this session today or anything leading into Black Friday, Cyber Monday, please feel free to get in touch. We do have a few reloaders in the chat as well. So feel free to ask questions throughout. We're happy to kind of dive in and answer those as well. But enough about me and about Reload. Today we're here to hear from these amazing experts to talk all things BFCM. So our very first speaker for today is John Palmer. So John's joining us from Klaviyo. John Palmer is a member of Klaviyo's product marketing team based in California, where he launches new features that help e-commerce businesses accelerate their growth. So prior to working at Klaviyo, he spent 8 years in a digital marketing growing online fitness apparel brand, where he was actually a Klaviyo customer. So he flipped over to the other side. John loves taking on marketing challenges and using data to solve business problems. So outside, John also loves cooking and scotch and fitness and dogs. I'm sure you have a lot of dog fanatics in this call as well, John. So in John's session, he's going to be taking us through some important tips on how to leverage email and SMS to make the most out of your holiday shopping season. So John, I will hand it over to you.
Thank you. I'll try to live up to that intro. But yeah, so we're going to talk about email and SMS, obviously coming over from Klaviyo, and I know better than anyone the kind of limited resources you have, both time and money, when it comes to your Black Friday and what you're going to do, what channels you're going to prioritize. So we're going to talk about why you should be spending more time on email and SMS. Jump to the next slide there. Perfect. So unless this is your first go around at a Black Friday, you know you're going to see all your paid ad costs jump. I see you, Brad, in the chat. We're going to talk about SMS in Australia in a hot second. So unless it's your first go around with Black Friday, you know you're going to see your paid ad costs jump. And one of the things that makes that even more unpredictable this year are all the data privacy changes with Apple's update. So not knowing how they're going to contact Facebook, Instagram, Google, with all those third-party cookies. So just a bit of an unknown there to keep in mind as you're trying to forecast for holiday planning. And then, of course, you can control more of, Facebook. There's no way they're going to let you message your entire audience on Black Friday or Cyber Monday or people that follow you, where that's actually possible with, email and SMS as a channel. And then, of course, these channels are owned. As a brand, you own those and you can drive more lifetime value and repeat purchases with these channels. And we'll go to the next slide there. And it sounds like most people on the call, just looking in the chat, are pretty familiar with Klaviyo. When most people think of Klaviyo, they think email. And something that actually powers that email is our database. Klaviyo is this open API platform where you can dump all your customer touch points. and then use that personalized information to send targeted emails. And now, jump to the next slide here, SMS in Australia. I saw there's a couple New Zealand folks on the call. I apologize that this does not include New Zealand, but we're very excited to be announcing SMS in Australia coming in a couple weeks. And we are actually in our limited availability or beta tests right now. So if you want to be a part of that, you can write in. You can shoot an email to me, jonathan.palmer@klaviyo.com, or right into our customer service. We'll get you in the queue to be one of the first people to have SMS in Australia in the next couple weeks. Since SMS is, really, I know there's other providers that do SMS out in Australia, but we're going to be talking just a little bit, average email click-through rate, 2 or 3%, average SMS click rate, 20 to 25% is what we're seeing. You can expect that you'll actually have a smaller SMS audience than your email, but that's okay. It's not for everyone, but it is important to give that option to your customers. And I know when I adopted SMS back when I was working for a brand, I was seeing it on all the competitor sites, all the people that I kind of looked up to. And, this stat kind of backs it up. 61% of marketers increased their budgets last year for SMS. And I'm sure we're going to get an even bigger number this year at the end of 2021. This stat, we actually just wrapped up looking at the first 6 months of the year, Klaviyo stats. Brands that had email and SMS together in Klaviyo's platform, for every $1 you spend on Klaviyo, you're making $122 ROI. So, if you don't, that doesn't get you off the fence to kind of get excited and think about trying SMS, then I don't know what to tell you. The two things for Black Friday that I would highly recommend everyone adopt, even if you just want to adopt SMS passively, is implementing Klaviyo's multi-step forms, or maybe you want to use another form tool to capture SMS, but this allows you to capture email on the first step of the form, so you're not sacrificing your email opt-in rate, and then your SMS capture on the second step. We're actually seeing a super low drop-off rate. I think 98% of people that enter their email also engage with the SMS consent. And then, of course, consent at checkout. So, just give people the option passively. Do you want to subscribe to text? Let me just check that box when I'm placing my Black Friday order. When you kind of come up for air in January, you're going to be really happy that you have at least a couple thousand customers, subscribed and ready to, remarket to and drive higher customer lifetime value going into 2022. Some of the differences, email versus SMS, time-sensitive messages. We actually saw the highest spike last year on the Thursday before Black Friday, the highest engagement rate with SMS, with folks giving early access to Black Friday. So very exciting there, and I highly recommend a Thursday before Black Friday text for anyone that's adopting SMS. Email, more long-form content, multiple CTAs, and then really any flow that's designed to convert or drive lifetime value. With email, you can add SMS right in there with your email flows. Super easy to adopt that and get it, incorporate both in those high revenue generating flows. So this is a quick calendar I put together, and we're going to be releasing it more widely and in a more pretty fashion, but I didn't want to withhold it from you guys. This is just 30 minutes a week, how to adopt SMS. So in the next couple of weeks, we'll release it, just turn it on in your Klaviyo account, set up a welcome series, consent at checkout, maybe turn on a flow or two, send a couple campaigns, and you're going to be ready to kind of hit these high intent holidays for Australia. Let me jump to the next slide there. So these are my kind of 3 tips that go a little bit beyond SMS. So I've hammered SMS enough with phones are screwing up on me there. Just turn, even if you don't want to spend any money on it, just enable it, start growing your subscriber base. Klaviyo doesn't charge you unless you're actually sending messages. So I recommend just building that audience and testing, seeing if your customers are interested in subscribing. You won't know until you ask. Then one of my tips for email, and I guess SMS as well, but something you can do with Klaviyo is branching shoppers by their number of placed orders over the holidays. So what we did when I worked for the fitness clothing company that worked really well is taking all your people who have placed at least one order from October through the end of Cyber Monday and putting them in a segment and offering them an exclusive offer that's $1 off versus a percentage off that you might be doing for Black Friday. And that's going to be your thank you to them. Hey, you've done your holiday shopping with us. Thank you so much. Now here's a gift for you. And $20 off, 60, 80, whatever your kind of margins and discounts dictate. But we've seen a huge influx of getting those one-time purchasers over the holidays to 2 or 3 time purchasers. And then just another good note for anyone taking those high intent flows, the welcome series, abandoned browser, and giving them a holiday feel. If you have an abandoned, or if you have a welcome series, don't forget to change that to your Black Friday code. Don't continue to offer 10% off on your welcome series and your pop-up when you're giving 25% off site-wide. Similar with your abandonment flows, don't forget to throw your Black Friday offer in those for the week it's live. You'll see, hey, use your Black Friday offer on the gear in your cart, on the items in your cart. You can expect 10, 20% higher open rates and not obviously at high conversion rates, but when you make those holiday updates to your high intent flows. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, John. To be honest, the chat has been absolutely popping off the fact that you're launching SMS in Australia. I just have a question though. One of the things that has been asked, do you have a timeline for that rolling out in New Zealand yet?
I don't want to lead anyone astray. It probably won't be this year. We go into a code freeze just like everyone else should to kind of protect your site, and we don't release features much closer than we're doing here. There's even some functionality that we really are going to continue to improve for Australia, but we want to get this in as many people's hands as we can while protecting, obviously, the deliverability and the trust that everyone has to get our messages out there, or Klaviyo to get your messages out there for the holidays. But I would expect it to be early, maybe Q1 next year. Yeah.
So don't worry, New Zealand, we'll be the test case for you, and then it will all be, you get all the cool features, hopefully as of next year. Thanks so much, John. I really also love that calendar that you pulled together. I think that just really shows the importance of starting now, and that really good tip, I think, on leveraging those people that buy BFCM and then continue to capitalize on that for the actual overall holiday season as well. Awesome. So our next speaker is Jess McMahon. So super excited to have Jess speaking today. Jess is leading Reload's email portfolio here at Reload. So Jess specializes in email marketing and automation. And Jess has led email projects across global markets, including the UK, EU, US, and APAC, with brands like Sealy, Remax, Philip Kingsley, Arc Skincare. Jess has worked alongside the Klaviyo data science team to craft beta analytics features that rolled out in the platform globally. So whether your BFCM goals are around gaining market share, pushing specific SKUs, or simply to grow revenue year on year, it's a perfect time to get in front of new eyes. So today, Jess is going to spill all of the secrets on the tactics that Reload have tried and tested across hundreds of brands in the last 12 years, delivering some really actionable tips for you guys with brand examples so you can accelerate your digital marketing strategies for this holiday season. So Jess, I will hand it over to you.
Thanks, Em. And hi to everyone watching. As Em mentioned, I'm the email marketing lead here at Reload, and I'm really excited to be talking to you all today and sharing some of our most successful holiday marketing strategies to date. My plan today is to walk you through a full funnel holiday marketing strategy, and we're going to follow the structure of grow, engage, and convert. So we'll be talking about how you can grow your database in the lead up to the holidays, engage your audience throughout your holiday promotions, and finally, how you can convert your database, not just during the holiday season, but year round. So let's get into it. I think we've all seen, and particularly over the last few years, that the holiday season has expanded. It's well beyond Black Friday now, and it's actually more like 2 months of sustained and heightened consumer intent. But there's no denying Black Friday, it's still the biggest beast of them all. And we know for some brands, it's not unusual to generate more than 30% of annual sales at that time. Hence why we're all here, really. But I guess over the years, we've watched Black Friday evolve from a weekend of flash sales and competitive discounts to one that incentivizes based on brand values. And obviously that still includes discounts. We're seeing more and more brands now branch out to giveaways, gift with purchase. Next slide, sorry, Eb. Right through to exclusive product releases and even charity initiatives. So to keep up with the evolution of the holiday period, its extended length and its diversified promotions, when it comes to digital, we've really moved away from that burst campaign approach where, you know, we've previously focused on accelerating sales over that 1 week period towards a framework that allows us to leverage the peak season traffic and capture potential customers that will shop year round. So no doubt some of you have already seen this slide before in the Google holiday shopping study, but if you haven't, I wanted to share it again. It just really showcases how an omni-channel approach can help this holiday season. So they've come out and said that 4.1 times increase in number of purchases and a 2.2 times increase in customer spend with an omni-channel strategy. So today we're going to talk about a mix of channels, but this year it's really about meeting your customers where they feel comfortable, which is actually a really good segue into top of funnel. So let's go to the next slide, Eb. And we'll get into the grow section, which is really just starts with introducing your brand to new eyes. Can't believe it, but it's September already. And we know that research has begun for a lot of people when it comes to gifting and preparing for Christmas. And people know that Black Friday is coming up as well. So there can be that holdout for shoppers waiting for that specific week. So right now is the time to invest in getting your brand in front of new eyes. But like John said, we know that ad prices can rise up to 25% over the holiday period. So it's really important to start this process as early as possible so you can beat those price rises. Our paid teams like to start the awareness and brand building stage about now with ads that broadly target prospects. And we know Facebook's machine learning works well this way too. When we look to cover more top-level campaign objectives like video views or view content. And generally, those are cheaper ways to reach and engage a new audience. And for those of you wondering about ad costs, depending when you get started, so let's say from now up until Black Friday, these ads can cost anywhere from $5 to $20 per 1,000 impressions. We also, so next slide, Ed. They're out of order, yeah. So we also like to suggest at this stage to further brand recall with programmatic ads. And these are designed to distinguish your brand from competitors across sites that fit in with their audience's schedules and lifestyle. And these ads can cost on average $2 per 1,000 impressions. And now we can go back, Eb. Thank you. Okay, so once you've placed your brand in front of new eyes and people are starting to engage, you can then funnel those ad engagers into your email database. And we do this via using lead form ad sequences. So the lead form ad sequence should entice prospects to sign up for your exclusive Black Friday promotion and enable data capture like name, email, and phone number. But again, remember to start this early because these ads can cost around $5 to $10 per sign up. depending how close you are to the holiday period. I know outside of the peak season, I've seen these ads get down to as low as like $2 per sign up. So yeah, just really being conscious of the price rises during this period. But then once you've captured new subscribers, and you want to make sure that you keep them engaged in the lead up. So once a subscriber signs up to your mailing list via the lead form ads, or maybe it's via a pop-up on site, you can then trigger an email automation for them. So this is where you can deliver more information about your holiday sale and instructions on how to access and shop. And last year, on average, we saw these open rates hit about 43% and click-through rates 13%. But you'll also want to be teasing the promotion with newsletter campaigns in the lead up so that you can engage your existing database as well. Some of the biggest brands like Sephora and Amazon will actually send between 16 to 19 emails before their promotions even begin. We suggest these hype emails start around 3 weeks prior to your promotion, or generally just whenever you see holdouts start to happen from shoppers who are waiting for Black Friday. But obviously, if you're planning to smash campaigns out at the volume of like a Sephora or an Amazon, you'll just want to make sure that you're segmenting your database so that you don't get fatigued before the sale actually begins. Okay, so we've introduced the brand to new eyes, we've captured new subscribers, we've nurtured them, and we've got them hyped for what's coming. Now it's time to announce. So we've just heard from John that SMS is going to be a key player this year. John's just given you an exclusive too that Klaviyo is launching in 2 weeks, so you're already ahead of your competitors knowing that. So of course, if you're on Klaviyo, like John said, start collecting those numbers now. And next slide, Ed. But remember to utilize this channel for your promotion announcement. But there's a few key do's and don'ts for your SMS announcements, especially for people who are just getting started. So do give your audience time to react. Make sure you send a text to say when the sale is actually going to start. So for example, you might want to, the night before the sale or the promotion, you might want to send a text out that says Black Friday promotion begins at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Don't miss out on our exclusive sneaker release. Take a sneak peek here. And when it comes time to actually announcing the sale the next day, make sure you add urgency. Now for the don'ts. Don't assume that your audience knows about your sale already or how to access it. So make sure you give some context, and please don't forget to link to your Black Friday landing pages. Okay, so we've done the announcement, the sale's underway. Inevitably, we're going to have window shoppers. So we all love a good browse. Some of us will get to checkout before we abandon. But with the average cart rate coming in at $90.70 for Australia during Black Friday, and 74% of carts being abandoned, if there's one thing and one thing only that you do this year, let that be the abandoned checkout automation. And if you already have one, remember, like John said, to tailor these emails within your automation to reflect Black Friday messaging and keep those comms hyper relevant. We'll also suggest setting up a browse abandonment flow to capture browsers before they get to checkout, which is just another great one to have to take advantage of the influx of traffic to site. So we spoke at the beginning about using Black Friday and the holiday season to convert your audiences year round. And we've now been through how you can grow your database, engage them, and convert during the holiday promotion, but you shouldn't stop there. So Black Friday can tell us a lot about your database, and we know that nearly 70% of first-time Black Friday customers actually don't make another purchase. So in saying that, we also know that brands need a good nurture strategy in place post the holiday season. And there's 2 segments that we recommend to get the most out of your Black Friday traffic. The first one is new subscribers who shopped during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. So you can drill this further and go into get granular and identify items that they shopped, mark interest down for further communications. It might be that you want to suggest complementary items to cross-sell or just general content, but make sure that you communicate with them frequently, and especially around repeat promotions that are similar to the one that you're going to run for Black Friday. The second segment is new subscribers who did not shop during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Not everyone likes to be sold to straight away, and that's totally fine. Often offering value and nurturing in other ways can build those long-term relationships quicker. So we suggest filtering these subscribers into an automation to get some key insights on what they might be interested in. So for example, a shoe brand might send an email out asking what content these subscribers might like to receive next, and they could be able to opt into a running, a social walking, or a hiking newsletter series. And you can keep comms high and tailor content to their lifestyle needs. So there you have it. Those are our most successful tips when it comes to an omni-channel holiday strategy that should live well beyond November and December peak seasons. After the meetup, we'll actually be sending around an ebook to everyone who registered to highlight some of these tips again. But yeah, thanks so much for listening, and good luck with your holiday strategies.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Jess. We had some awesome comments as well in the chat. Like, I know personally that I am an absolute sucker for lead form advertising. Like, I will just fill out any lead form. If it's super relevant to me and I want to be exclusive, I will 100% be on your mailing list. So I'm sure there's a few merchants in here that, yeah, I'm probably on your mailing list. So thank you so much, Jess. And as I've mentioned, guys, like, this will all be recorded. So the video will be sent around, as Jess mentioned, along with an ebook that we've pulled together for you guys too, just to kind of summarize all of those tips and tricks. So we are now on to our final speaker. So I'd like to welcome Charlie from HENNE. So Charles Ring is the head of finance and data at HENNE, with more than 5 years of experience in fashion e-commerce and a background as an analyst for fast-moving consumer goods. He has a passion for using data to help make really informed decisions. So today, Charlie's going to be taking us through an awesome presentation to really give us insight into how kind of the team at HENNE have done this as well. So if you are interested in uncovering the strategy behind a high-end and quality brand, Charlie is your man. So Charlie's going to take us inside the HENNE Black Friday Cyber Monday strategy and how they will be using this to drive customer acquisition and assist in the launch of their SMS marketing as well. So super excited for this one, Charlie. Hand it over to you.
Thanks a lot for that, Emily. And yeah, hopefully I can give you guys some insight on what we're doing, and also a little bit of background on what HENNE is and how we started. So you can get to the next slide. Yeah, so HENNE has been around for 2 years now. We're a women's clothing brand. It started back mid-2019, and before that, my wife and her sister had an online clothing store called The Connection, where we would buy and sell other Australian brands, which was an exciting company, and we were really passionate about it. But the girls' real passion was definitely in having their own products and yeah, putting their own design passion to the test. And luckily, yeah, in 2019, they met Laura, who is an expert in production. And so they teamed up and launched HENNE in July of 2019. So the business model originally was to launch a capsule collection of products, but only one of the items was ready when we got to launch time. So we decided, instead of delaying the launch, we would go with the one product. And that's kind of built our business model from there, because that top, the Argo top, is still our best-selling product to date. And we now try to launch in 2 weekly, fortnightly drops, and really use each drop as a way to test and learn from our customers, because that's what our real passion is building a passionate community and an audience that's really loves HENNE and loves the brand. So you can move to the next slide. Yeah, so as I mentioned, we use these fortnightly drops to really test constantly be running various experiments. We want to be really listening to our customers' needs and what they want, and what they want to be seeing from us. We've got some examples here below of what some of the Instagram tests we've done, but we also run tests through our email where we're running surveys, and yeah, just constant feedback from our customers, because at the end of the day, that's what we're there for. And particularly during this Black Friday, Cyber Monday period, we just want to make sure we keep vision on that goal, which is to continue growing a passionate consumer database. You can move to the next slide. So here's some of the metrics we use to rate the strength of our community at any given time. So, and I definitely recommend that you guys all who are watching, if you're business owners, have your own metrics that you use to benchmark how your brand's performing, because it just allows you to track over time if your community is getting stronger or weaker. So one of them is 20% of our first-time buyers will buy again in the next month. 30% of customers will eventually become a repeat purchaser. 50% of our purchases come from return customers, and 70% of purchases come from within our email database. So, yeah, as Jess has mentioned, the importance of sort of building that funnel process and getting really comfortable with your marketing strategy and building that strong community and having a way to track your audience is really important, so that over time, when you're running your marketing campaigns, particularly during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, when there's a lot of people online and a lot of noise, you just want to make sure you have a way to track whether you're getting in front of people's eyes who are going to become passionate followers of your brand or are just going to be one-off buyers. So yeah, you can go to the next slide. So here's a few of the tools that we've used to grow our database. So one of them was 10% off first order if you subscribe, which with the other methods we tested did give a 3.5 times increase in the form submit rate. We also tested free shipping and first access to drops. The second one, which is a big driver of our sign-up, since we do run in those fortnightly drops and there is a lot of time when there isn't stock available online, we realised we needed a way to figure out whether we're converting during the down periods without obviously generating sales. So the metric we use to check whether we're converting during those periods is that register interest button there that you can see. So when the product's not available, people can register interest to be notified when that product arrives, and they're also put into our email database as someone who we know is interested in products. So that was definitely a good method for us. And then the final key method that we've used is access to exclusive products and sales. And you can move to the next slide. So here's just some of the testing we did, and obviously these were specific to our brand, which is, you know, that high-end female fashion, but at a reasonable price. We tested free shipping, being the first to hear about newest drops, and also 10% off first purchase. And as I mentioned, that 10% off was what worked best for us. But the beauty of having an online store, and I'm sure all of you guys who have an online store feel the same, is you do have so much access to data and information from your community. And so they'll be the first to let you know through their actions on what they like and what they don't like. So you can just run as many experiments as possible and see which one works for you. Next slide. So here's onto our testing for Black Friday sale in 2019 and 2020. So as I mentioned before, HENNE launched, the HENNE website launched in 2019. We were selling HENNE through The Connection, our old website. And in 2019, we ran, that was our best-selling Argo top. We ran it in exclusive colours, so at no discount. And we found that with the increased traffic during that time, we did get a really good response from the customers. So that's something we're going to look again to implement this year. And then in 2020, we ran a more traditional sale, and we did see good uptake on that too. And you can go to the next slide. Sorry. Yeah, so we trialed the exclusive product and then the sale, but we do try to go on sale as little as possible. Obviously, depending on your stock position and your overarching goal for the period, sale might work best for you if you're trying to move through excess stock, or it's just a good volume driver for you for the year. But for us, we try to definitely maintain that more premium offering, and we also try to be sustainable and not have excess stock on hand that we need to move through. So for us this year, we're going to be running an exclusive access to exclusive products. So that we're not going to put the products on sale. In March, we did an archive sale, something similar, whether it was exclusive access, but we did go on sale and we grew our database by 26%. So you had to, as you can see with that form there, you had to put in your email to access it, and then you were sent a password. That was only a few months into our database existing, but still, if we ran it today, that would be a 10% increase. So it definitely was something our customers were keen to see and keen to be involved with. But with that March sale, we did have to see 10 to 20% less retention versus standard subscribers. So like Jess was mentioning in her slide presentation, you do tend to find that people who are shopping for sale items aren't necessarily your core audience. They're more just in the market for a bargain. So it's really important during this period to separate who's in it for a discount and who's in it because they're passionate about your brand. Because in the long term, you're going to find better results if you're focusing on the people who are actually passionate about your brand and about your products, rather than people who are just looking for a discount, because you'll tend to find that they'll wait until the next discount before they buy again. So yeah, this year we're testing that non-discount method. We may move back to the discount next year, but for this year, that's what we're going to go with. And then next slide. And then, we're going to use this to assist with the SMS launch SMS strategy. So we also use Klaviyo. And as John mentioned, they're launching next month. So we're excited to get people involved in that as soon as possible, because we think it aligns really well with our brand, where we have those exclusive drops and also time sensitive. So we want people being notified at 7 p.m. on a Wednesday night that stock's available, and people obviously, based on what John was saying, they're a lot more likely to engage with that notification style text message than they even are with email. Even though we get good results with email, we think that SMS will work really well. So we're going to do a few things for that. We're going to do a campaign in the lead up where we try and bring all our existing customers across onto SMS. And then we're also going to be adding those multi-step forms in an attempt to get as many people involved as mobile as possible. So yeah, that's our goal for this year, where we're really just looking to continue to build on our strong, passionate community. But whatever your goal is during this period, just make sure you know what that is and that your strategy for this period aligns with that, so you always have something to look back on. So yeah, thanks so much for having me today. I hope you got something out of it.
Thank you so much, Charlie. I think that's awesome that you guys also have a few financial years worth of data now, so you've been able to kind of test and learn. And I love that you've tried a sale and tried not a sale, and you've seen the results. So I think that's really important, and I think that's great for merchants to know that it doesn't always just have to be a discount. That exclusivity, I think, is awesome that you guys do.
Thanks.
Cool. So before we kind of tie it over to the Q&A section, I did just want to kind of give you guys the summary of what we will be sharing out today. So there's been a few links that we've posted into the chat, but keep your eye out for an email in your inbox from Reload. We will be sharing the video recording of this as well, along with the ebook and all of these other helpful links for you guys to use. Also, if you are in the midst of planning your BFCM or you haven't started yet, like, don't worry, it's not too late. If you do need help or you do just want to kind of bounce ideas off someone, please feel free to get in touch with any of the speakers or anyone at Reload. We're more than happy to have a chat with you guys and just see how we might be able to support or assist or just guide you in the right direction of what you could potentially be doing for this holiday season as well. So with that, I will invite all of our speakers back to open up for Q&A. So we have had a few questions that have been submitted on the chat, but also if you do have any other questions that you want to ask, please feel free to jump in. But what I might kick off with is actually a question for Jess. And I kind of wanted to open this up for everyone as well, because I know that I'm sure John and Charlie will probably have an opinion on this too. But for lead form ads and how you kind of go about capturing your database, where do you kind of recommend using either the Facebook in-app experience or embedding a form on your website? What's kind of the pros and cons of using both as an approach? I might start with you, Jess, and then we can hand it over to either John or Charlie.
Yeah, cool. I guess lead form ads are kind of a frictionless way to generate sign-up. So meaning they're generally cheaper to generate lead volume than an on-site sign-up form in this instance, where the goal is to get new subscribers to sign up. And they, like, let's say someone had never really heard of your brand, they got those first prospecting ads, and then they got the lead form ad. They still may have only just clicked on the ad and briefly been to the site, but not really, had a browse and really looked into it. It's not until they get that second lead form ad that they're willing to give their details, because they know what the promotion's going to be. So it's true that without directing these users to the website sign up, they wouldn't enter website traffic remarketing audiences, but there are remarketing audiences that can be built based off of lead form ad engages within Facebook. So set that up and you won't miss out on users for remarketing. But yeah, more likely to generate cheaper signups with the in-app lead form ads. So yeah, in summary, I'd recommend using the in-platform lead ads where possible.
The other thing I can add to that is if you are using a lead form versus having one on Facebook, you obviously have way more control over what you can say, what you can show, the design. But also if you were using, like Klaviyo, a form that has multiple steps, you can capture email and then phone number. You could, let's say you're a pet company, right? You could say, give us your email. Step 2, do you like dogs or cats? And then that can change your whole welcome series. Facebook, you're limited to just capturing that one field. Yeah,
I think definitely for us, we find we capture the best quality subscribers when they're subscribing on it through our website, within our website, just because it's coming from people who we know, particularly when we have the sign-up pages on our product page, sign-up forms on our product page, because we then know that the people who are entering our database are people who have shown interest in products. So I think just having the sign-up forms in places where you're capturing high quality people rather than people who are just signing up willy-nilly is where you'll see your best results.
Yeah, and I think just to clarify as well, when we're talking about website forms being embedded on the site versus lead form ads, I'm more talking about the call to action. So if the call to action is sign up via the lead form ad and they enter the details there, or if the call to action of that ad sends them then to the website to then put their details in. So in that case, lead form ads work the best, but definitely should always have sign up forms on site, because yeah, like Charlie and John both said, yeah, you can obviously capture heaps more data from those forms. But yeah, when we're specifically talking about that ad type, the call to action is best just to sign up in the lead form ad itself.
Yeah, and I think with that, it's like, from what I'm kind of gathering from all of you, it's, you can use both, and it just really depends on what the actual use case is that you're trying to achieve. So if you're really trying to get like massive awareness and you just want to have that quick step, get people into your sort of welcome flow so you can start to kind of warm them up, then having as little steps as possible is awesome. But if they're already familiar with your brand, they've visited you a few times, and you really want to kind of get them then joining your community, then obviously the website form where you can capture more information is really critical too. So it's probably a combination of all of those things to really get the best results as well. Cool. I have a question here for Klaviyo, and really anyone else that wants to kind of jump in as well. So obviously we've announced SMS is launching in 2 weeks, which everyone is super, super pumped about. So what's kind of the benefits, I guess, of using SMS with Klaviyo versus potentially like an SMS only provider?
Yeah. And I just want to clarify, we are still finalizing. My product team will kill me if I commit to a specific.
Oh, sorry, don't quote me on the 2 weeks thing.
Right. No, I just want to make sure. But we are in our limited availability beta period right now. So absolutely, we are taking anyone that wants to be a part of it. So, but just wanted to clarify that. What we've seen is, there's a lot of SMS, what I would call point solutions, that do a great job at sending SMS, but there's people that are going to be subscribed to both email and SMS only, and email only. And if you're just blasting email and blasting SMS without any concern about who's subscribed to both channels, that's going to increase your unsubscribe rate. So you need a platform where you can build a segment that says they haven't engaged with email in X amount of days, or they, you can branch a flow and A/B test. Should I send email first or text first? All within the same flow. So that's something that you can only do when email and SMS are under one roof. The other big thing is attribution. So the ability to, for a platform like Klaviyo to know, hey, what should I give credit to, the email or the text? If you're using a point solution, an SMS only solution, it doesn't matter whether they interacted with an email, today. If you interacted with their text 7 days ago, they're still going to take credit for it. So I think more accurate attribution and kind of better management of the customer journey are the two benefits to using kind of that all-in-one solution.
Yeah, and I'll add to that as well. I think the way that we're going to really see the benefits of combining email and SMS is going to see cost efficiencies. So let's say we're looking at like an abandoned checkout automation. The first step might be an email to everyone. And then we might split that flow and say, okay, anyone who interacted with the first email can get another email because that seems to be a good channel for them and they're engaging with it. But if they haven't interacted with it, that's when we might choose to send an SMS. And therefore, you're not just sending an SMS to everyone, you're kind of like picking and choosing based on interactions and channel preference, so that you only use your spend on people who, it's needed for.
Yeah, I think
glad you said that. Yeah, go ahead, Charlie.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say the reason why we've decided to go with Klaviyo SMS over another is just from that, to have that centralized location where we have all our customer information and we're communicating through that one centralized point. So it's more a simplicity for us at the moment.
The other thing, just to set expectations for everyone on the call, like SMS is more expensive than email by a factor of about 100. I think it's 1/100 of a cent to send an email. It's 1 cent to send a text. Still way better cost per impression than a lot of other things out there, a lot of other channels. But if you can reach them on a lower cost channel, like why wouldn't you want to do that? And that's only possible with, not just Klaviyo, but like any platform that uses email and SMS together.
Yeah. I will just ask one other question just while we're on the SMS train. So one of the questions that's come through from 30 Acres is just in regards to, I guess, unsubscribe rates when you are thinking about SMS. So obviously unsubscribe rates for email marketing is something to be conscious of. Is it something to be conscious of then for SMS too? Like, will it negatively impact any sender reputation or anything like that?
Sorry, I apologize. The internet cut out for me. Can you repeat the question one more time?
Yeah, that's okay. So the question is just around like unsubscribes. So is that something to be conscious of for SMS as well? Having any kind of like impact on sender reputation?
So SMS and how you use it, any unsubscribe will have zero impact on your email. So those are completely different sending infrastructures. So you don't have, I guess if that was the question, no worries there. Of course, you want to keep an eye on your unsubscribe rate. And it's important to make sure that you're segmenting your audience appropriately. If you started to see more than maybe 2 to 3% unsubscribe rate on SMS campaigns, I would look at segmenting. And if you still continue to see high unsubscribe rate, I would look at frequency.
Cool. Okay, so back to kind of BFCM stuff now. I'm really keen to kind of hear from you guys. What's kind of one of the best Black Friday, Cyber Monday campaigns that you've seen, and why was it so good?
Yeah, I guess I'll start with us. So far the best that we've seen is when we ran our exclusive product. So yeah, just launching with a particular product on that day, we found better retention with those customers because they were passionate supporters of the brand who wanted this unique product, and also we just knew they weren't simply after a discount. So I've been involved in industries before where discounting can become a little bit of a race to the bottom. So just making sure for us that we are able to maintain that premium offering. It obviously is very dependent on the industry you're in. But yeah, for us, that exclusive offering was the best that we saw.
Great. Jess or John?
Yeah, I think one of the best ones from an email perspective that I've seen was the case study that I had at the end of my slides there, where we basically just followed that full funnel strategy that we went through today. And obviously each of those steps impact email because you're growing the database, engaging them, and then you've got them there to convert year round. But particularly for that client, email the year before saw a 13%, it brought in 13% of overall revenue. And that year we basically hit 40%. So it was a huge increase. And yeah, I think that's why it was in the presentation our most successful strategy to date.
Yeah, I talked about the $20 off gift to your customers who have shopped during Black Friday. So I'll pick another one. One of the ones that really did well for us, we had a loyalty program. And from the time when the shipping cutoff happens, you normally see orders just fall off a cliff, right? So what we did was we took everyone who had loyalty points and made them more valuable. So if 20 loyalty points equals $1, we made it 20 loyalty points equals $3. So your points are worth triple to get more orders. And it was our Christmas present to our most loyal customers. So like the 23rd to the 25th. And we were actually able to drive a ton of sales on days that are normally dead. Maybe doesn't quite align with Charles's, no discounts, but there's kind of in my mind at least, a little difference in the customer between giving 20% off and like, hey, you've earned these points. Now, boom, they're even more valuable. Come back and shop.
No, I love the sound of that. That's definitely, I think discount, when I more mean discount, I more mean that traditional, 80% off discount. Whereas that kind of thing is, I've written that down. That might be something we try next year.
Yeah, Black Friday's back day after Christmas on the 26th when everyone has their Christmas money is another winner.
Awesome.
I think another good thing in the lead up as well, I wanted to mention this, but I ran out of time, was just if you have a wish list function on your site for brands that have a lot of SKUs, when you send out your teaser emails in the lead up, having the call to action as create wish list allows people to go in and basically just pre-shop what they want, so that when the announcement actually comes, all they have to do is check out. And yeah, I think that can make a really seamless checkout on the actual day itself.
Fantastic. So I know we're a few minutes off from finishing, and you guys have had some amazing insights and lots of tips that people can kind of go away and implement. But I really just want to kind of summarize everything, and I want to give you guys a chance to kind of give one key takeaway. So if you could tell merchants that are in the call here today to go away and do one thing, what would that one thing be? Who wants to go first? John, I'm nominating you.
Do I even need to say it? It's get on the SMS train, start growing your subscriber base. Even if you're not going to have it be part of your holiday strategy, you can say, hey, email, we're going to run with it. We're going to do our Facebook ads. Just turn on consent at checkout, throw out a second step on your sign up form. Just start growing your subscriber base. So that way you don't miss this opportunity to get a ton of people subscribed. When, if you decide to do this in January, boom, you've missed all this traffic, all these high intent purchasers that could have subscribed over the holidays.
Yeah, I think for me, it would definitely just be making sure you're thinking, I think you mentioned it in your presentation as well, Jess, just thinking long-term and not just focusing on this period. Try and align this period with what your long-term goals are and see what the best strategy that comes out of that is, rather than simply just looking at this Black Friday, Cyber Monday period.
Yeah, that seems to be the key theme, is just instead of thinking about like the traditional model where we have that accelerated revenue for 1 week, think about kind of those micro goals off the back of it, as well as how can we leverage the peak traffic? Well, and how can we get people interested in our brand around this time as well? Especially with COVID over the last couple of years, we've really seen brand loyalty kind of dip, and people are willing to move. So yeah, I guess really just use the peak traffic period to grow that database so that you have them year round, would be my tip.
Yeah, fantastic. And as I said, guys, like all of these tips and everything will be shared at the end of this as well. I just want to say thank you to all of our speakers who have joined us today. I know that the chat has been going crazy. We had a bunch of participants here who were super excited to hear everything that you guys shared. So again, thank you so much for giving us your time and sharing sharing your amazing insights. So I know there were quite a few questions in there just about SMS, particularly in regards to send rates and things like that, and costs. So if your questions didn't get answered, I know that the speakers are happy to be connected on LinkedIn. So feel free to reach out, any questions that you guys might have. Also the Reload team here to help as well. So please do feel free to get in touch if you guys have any follow-up questions off the back of today's meetup. But yeah, again, thank you guys all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool.
Bye-bye.
And hopefully we'll see everybody next time. See you guys.